Slightly more realistic setup. Okay. So basic, I'm going to control Matt's wrists. All I'm going to do is I'm going to pick which side I want to go for. I'm going to use my legs. I'm going to bring Matt towards me, and I'm going to start to isolate his arm, drag it across my chest, make him start to break the rules. His hand goes across, okay? And then I'm going to be looking to get a hold of the back of his elbow, okay? We've already been talking quite a bit about how elbows or the bendy spots on the body, those are targets. You want to control somebody, okay? You make your grips in the bendy parts of the body. Armpits, elbows, knee pits, hips, things of that nature. If it bends, it's a great anchor. Necks, things of that nature. Okay? And the closer you get to the bend, in most cases, the better your grip becomes. So in this case, here's Matt's arm. If I grab in front of his elbow, this is going to be garbage until it hits his wrist. Okay? Again, the wrist is another bendy point. Once it hits his wrist, now I get a little bit of control, but remember, the wrists are never very good. So when I grip, I want the back of his elbow, so that now when he tries to pull his arm back, he's literally pushing his elbow into my hand. If I'm grabbing on here, it's just going to slip, and you're gonna struggle. Okay, so I'm going to come in, cross him up through here, cross face him, and grab onto the back of his neck. Again, the neck is another bendy spot. So I'm grabbing into the back of his neck, so if he starts trying to pick up his head, I can use that to pull the head down. Okay, training wheels, foot on the hip. Yeah, never wrong, but not truly required as we get deeper into our capabilities. So that foot on the hip is kind of more like a training wheel. This leg through here is then going to slide up his body. There goes my pivot that we just did, and I'm trying to make my heel touch that knee. Okay, post on the head, that's my Heisman, so that this leg now can go up and over. Try to get the back of your knee immediately onto the back of the head. Jiu-jitsu feet, also called active feet, not ballet. Jiu-jitsu. Through here, crush the heels to your own butt. Crush your knees to your own chest. Okay? And then watch what my feet will do. My feet are going to rotate out, and my knees are going to pinch in. So crush down, crush down, crush down, pull, 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 and then look at what my feet just did. So now through here, when I'm controlling the wrist and I put that tension in, the arm bar is pretty much done. Okay, one more time. So again, I'm in, control, cross face, foot on the hip. This leg goes right up his ribs, like my heel is going to touch that knee. Okay, up and over the head. Heels crush, 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 crush. My hand now can slide up to his wrist to hold him from here. Remember what I said now about my legs. My knees are going to pinch in, and my heels are going to flare out. Okay, and then it takes very little pressure on the elbow to get the break from there. Let's give that a shot. 1, 2. These are the fundamentals. Okay, no arm, no arm bar. The other part I need is I need my tension to be. Remember we talked about here's the elbow. Okay, if my pry bar is here, probably the likelihood is my arm bar probably sucks. Put my pry bar to the back side of the tricep. Okay, and my arm bar gets better as it goes. Okay. Fail that, probably going to fail your arm bar. Again, part of your defense. Okay? If this is where they want to be, if I can get him to be in front of my elbow, I'm already getting onto the side that's going to be way easier for me. Now, it's never perfect. I mean, it's never perfect. Just ask Tim Sylvia in the UFC, who broke radius and ulna. Then again, though, his forearms are like twice the length of mine, things of that nature. And so when he got his elbow clear, he still had a lot of forearms still left inside the arm bar, and it literally snapped with radius and ulna on the, on that one. So, but again, those are two majors. Okay, I need to get the arm, and I need to make sure that my pressure for the most part is back on the tricep. Okay. Then the last part is then I need to somehow isolate Matt's shoulders. Okay. The head is usually the target we use to isolate the shoulders, because when I pin the head, the shoulders are right there. The head is technically not necessary, but it is one of the easiest ways of getting to his shoulders. So that's why most people throw a leg over the head or something of that nature to control it. Okay? Now, any one of those can happen in any order. It doesn't have to be grab the arm, pivot, get over the head. It doesn't have to be in that way. I mean, you can mix and match. As long as by the end you have all the components that you need, you can still get your arm up. And none of it has to be technically in the way that we just did. Now, remember when I said that foot on the hip, that is a training wheel. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Okay. Actually, to be honest with you, in most instances, it would be preferred to not put the foot on the hip to be able to go for the armbar. And the reality is just simply speaking, okay, the moment my foot comes up onto the hip, not only did I break my guard, okay, but then I've gone to a middle ground. I didn't even go for my armbar yet. Bells, whistles, sirens should be going off for Matt. Hey, dummy, armbar is about to happen. So at that moment in time, get used to the moment your legs part, you're going straight for what it is that you want without going somewhere in the middle. Again, lots and lots and lots of different ways and variations to make it happen, okay? But that's the reality, is if I waste time, again, it's not necessarily wrong. There are times I'll put a foot on the hip, but in most times I won't. I want to go straight to my position. So again, if I'm here, I'm going to go again slightly different. I'm going to control Matt. I'm going to bring him in, and I'm going to put him into an arm drag, and then I'm going to grab onto his head. Okay. Last time, I grabbed here. This time, I'm just grabbing here. Again, everything that we're doing is interchangeable. Lots and lots and lots of different variations that I could go into. Okay. So now, as I'm holding on to Matt, if I can hold and pin him down, this allows my legs to become a lot more pliable. So again, I can go foot on the hip, okay? Or you can start getting used to making the shift without needing to put the foot on the hip. So generally speaking from here, if I take my legs and you see what happens, when this knee comes up and this knee pushes down, watch his body. What just happened? Look at when I switch my knees, okay? It's like his whole body is kind of wiggling as it goes. When this one comes up, that was going to be my foot going across the back. And as this one is kind of pushing onto his hips, this is kind of creating my twist, okay? So I've got him here, holding on to his head. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my legs to start to kind of pull him in, and there goes his head, okay? Now I'm going to open and push him into my twist. So I've already got the wrist. There's my jiu-jitsu feet, okay? Crush, crush, crush. And then what we talked about through here is my knees are gonna pinch together and my heels are gonna go across his back and across the back of his head. Then small pelvic thrust, and we get to go into our armbar. This is one of my favorite armbars for here, because if I'm playing with Matt, blah, 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 and I come in, oh. Right now, I've started to go into a back take, holding onto his arm, okay? Just keeping the arm across my body. Through here, Matt's in a position where he has to make a choice. If he doesn't do anything right now, okay, the back is mine. So he's gonna start trying to respond. That puts him into a position where I can get a hold of his head. There goes my push into his face. There's my pivot, and there's my armbar. Yeah, as I'm coming in, we're going to take him into the arm drag. Pull, 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 knees as well. Shift, and go into my meat hook. Fingers in the armpit. Again, through here, he's not going to willingly let his back get taken, so almost always they'll start driving in. I like to go for meat hook, into throat grab. Perfectly legal. Not fun, but perfectly legal. Then through here, you see I start to open up my armpit. Now I'm going into my Heisman. This foot is already started to climb. So now I'm opening up my leg and going for his head. And then going into my armbar.